Morning, everyone. Good morning. Today I am in a place called Independence, Oregon, and this is a really big river that I couldn't find the name of on maps. If anybody knows the name of this wonderful, amazing river, it kind of winds through Oregon. It's really big. So I'm sure that it's a well-known river. I'm in Independence, and I've been seeing that this is kind of like a farming community, and I thought to myself, what would I farm if I was going to farm something? And the first thing that popped into my mind was medicine. I would like to have a medicine garden, right? And then as I progressed with the thought process, I realized that I want to grow alkaloids. I want to grow coca, opium, cannabis, psilocybin, mushrooms, and that these are things that have become heavily synthesized in the pharmaceutical industry. The vast majority of pharmaceuticals on the market today contain compounds from these alkaloids that have been synthesized and magnified, isolated, and exaggerated into these designer drugs that people use for psych meds and painkillers, as well as all kinds of different drugs, because our alkaloids, our traditional alkaloids, are the foundation of medicine for the human being, and probably for animals too. So what really occurred to me and what really struck me this morning is that these alkaloids are from nature, and you can't patent anything that comes from nature. So how can you actually apply legislation to something that you cannot patent, is what I want to know. Because there has to be a way for human beings to reclaim our heritage as individuals on this earth, and communities of people on our species on this earth, that especially when it comes to plants, the audacity of any human being to suggest to another human being that they are forbidden from growing this plant, that is just so insane to me, and it's very naive as well. To me, it's very naive that human beings have allowed that to occur in our municipal life and in our commercial life. Why have we allowed it? Why back in the 80s did people allow Ronald Reagan and George Bush Sr. to decide that they would start locking people up in jail for using cannabis? Why? Like that's so naive and lazy of us to do. That is clearly a violation of our human rights. That is clearly a violation of our God-given, heavenly ordained identity as human beings. It's a crime against humanity, is what it is, to suggest that we can't grow our medicines and use our medicines. We should be able to grow, sell, produce, trade, and use as much alkaloids that our hearts desire, because it's our heritage, it's our legacy. We are the medicine, and the medicine is us. And the plants that are so-called illegal are profiting people hand over fist, and these people are belligerent and violent, bad people, because it's illegal. And it's only because of the illegality of it. The illegality of it is the problem. The alkaloids themselves are not the problem, and drug addiction itself is not even the problem. If people were addicted to natural alkaloids, they would just probably be tired or something, but they wouldn't be killing themselves like they are with all the cheap synthetic trash that the CIA is pumping into the streets, and has been for 30, 40 years now, that people are getting sick from and losing their minds over because it's synthetic and it's not fit for human consumption. So I propose that we, really get down to, if you want to talk law, let's talk God's law. God put the plants here for us. And if you want to talk man's so-called law, even though we're living in a lawless situation, we're in a lawless predicament in reality, because the so-called legal system does not approach facts. They don't deal with facts. They only deal with fiction. But to deal with their fiction, if you can't patent something, how can you legislate it? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I mean, the coronavirus is patented. Okay, so they can legislate you if you're participating in that whole shenanigan. All of those jabs that people are getting, those are all patented. And once you take the jab, you belong to that company. You become, that the property of that particular company, and they have, in their warped sense of reality, in their fiction, they have jurisdiction over you as part of their stock, their livestock or whatever. But the natural alkaloids are really off limits to the legal system, and I know it. And if I was an attorney, I would definitely be working towards legislating, our freedoms into writing, because they got enough limits on our freedoms, because they want to make that money by locking people up. They're making a lot of money. That's modern day. It's modern day servitude, locking people up in prison and taking away people's freedoms because they're using alkaloids the same way the human beings have used alkaloids ever since human beings have lived have existed. So that's my little rant for today. If anybody has any suggestions about how to get this kind of legislation rolling, let's do it. Let's help each other. As far as I'm concerned, if you're an adult, you should be able to do anything you want to your own body. And I would love to see human beings be able to grow as much medicine as they want. Because I love human beings. And I love medicine. All right, y'all. Peace out.